You've been told emergency funds are your safety net. You diligently save 3 to 6 months of expenses, feeling secure and responsible. But here's the harsh truth. Your safety net might actually be a lie. No shame. Saving feels like the right move. But what if it's actually setting you up to lose? Nearly 44% of people who had a 3-month emergency fund in 2022 no longer had it by 2023. Even worse, many of these same people skipped medical care and couldn't pay their bills. I'll show you why emergency funds fail most people and reveal a step-by-step approach that actually works. Let's start with the math that nobody wants you to see. Here's the financial reality most people face. You save $10,000 for emergencies, but your credit card debt costs you $2,000 a year in interest alone. So who's really winning here? Most people think having money in savings automatically makes them financially secure. But there's a hidden problem nobody talks about. Let's break it down with simple math. Say you're earning 1% on your savings account. That's about $50 a year on $5,000. But if you're paying around 21% interest on credit cards, the current average according to Bankrate, that same $5,000 cost you $1,050 per year. You're losing $1,000 every single year by keeping that emergency fund instead of paying off the debt first. Think of it like this. You're filling a bucket with a tiny cup while someone else drains it with a fire hose. You feel good about having money saved, but you're actually getting poorer every day. The bank pays you pennies while you pay them dollars. Most financial advice tells you to save first, pay debt later. But the math doesn't lie. Every dollar sitting in your emergency fund while you carry high-interest debt is a dollar working against you. It's like buying a $1,050 insurance policy that only covers $1,000 worth of emergencies. Now let's talk about the lifestyle inflation trap. You saved enough to cover 3 months of expenses, but your expenses quietly grew by 20% over 2 years. That 3-month cushion is now closer to 2.5 months. You didn't notice because it happened slowly. But when the emergency hits, you're not as protected as you thought. Emergency funds treat the symptom, not the disease. The symptom is not having money when you need it. The disease is spending more than you earn. Saving money feels good, but it doesn't fix bad spending habits. The numbers tell the story. 44% of people who had 3-month emergency funds in 2022 lost them by 2023. This isn't about bad luck, it's about bad strategy. These people felt secure because they had money saved, but they never addressed the real issues. Emergency funds are passive. They sit there doing nothing while your financial problems get worse around them. Your debt keeps growing. Your spending habits stay the same. Your income might even go down. But that emergency fund just sits there, earning almost nothing. Meanwhile, your credit card debt compounds every month. Your spending creeps up without you noticing. Your skills don't improve because you're not focused on earning more money. You're playing defense when you need to play offense. The reason 36% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency isn't because they don't save, it's because they're fighting the wrong battle. They're trying to build walls instead of eliminating threats. Let me give you a real example. Sarah has $8,000 in emergency savings earning 1% interest. She also has $12,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. She feels secure because she has money saved. But she's losing over $2,500 per year in interest while earning $80 on her savings. If Sarah used her emergency fund to pay down debt, she'd save $1,760 in interest payments in year 1 alone. That's more protection than her emergency fund ever provided. But she was taught to save first, so she keeps losing money every single day. The worst part? When Sarah finally has an emergency, she'll probably use her credit card anyway. She won't want to touch her precious emergency fund. So she'll add more debt while keeping money that could have prevented the problem in the first place. So what really protects you? Let's build a fortress, not just a bucket. True financial protection comes from building multiple layers that work together, not just hoarding cash. What if I told you that eliminating just $5,000 in credit card debt protects you more than saving $15,000 in an emergency fund? Here's the simple math. Paying off that debt gives you a guaranteed 20% return, matching the top credit card APRs we're seeing in 2024. No investment can promise that kind of profit. Think of it like this. You wouldn't protect your house with just a front door lock. You'd add window locks, maybe an alarm system, good lighting outside. Same idea with money. Let me break down the 4 layers of real protection. First, eliminate debt. This comes first because every dollar of high-interest debt you pay off gives you an instant 18 to 24% return. You don't need to be an expert to understand this. If you're paying 20% interest on a credit card, paying it off is like earning a guaranteed 20% return on your money. Here's what that really means. Say you have $3,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. That costs you $660 per year. If you pay it off, you save that $660 every single year going forward. No stock market investment can guarantee those kinds of returns. Plus, you get the money back immediately because you're not making those monthly payments anymore. Next, proper budgeting. This isn't about restricting yourself or cutting out everything fun. Budgeting shows you exactly where every dollar goes so you can redirect it toward protection. Most people have no idea they're spending $200 a month on random stuff they don't really need. Third, multiple income streams. This means you're not just one job loss away from disaster. Even a small side income can replace your emergency fund's purpose. Maybe you freelance on weekends. Maybe you sell stuff online. Maybe you drive for a delivery app once a week. Here's the simple version. If you make an extra $500 a month from side work, that's $6,000 per year. If your main income stops, that $500 side income can cover your rent for a week while you figure things out. Over time, that small income stream gives you more security than a static emergency fund. Plus, you still have money coming in while you find something new. Fourth, smart investing for long-term growth. This means your money works for you, instead of sitting idle, losing value to inflation. You don't need big numbers to start. Even $50 a month invested properly can grow into serious money over time. Think of it like putting money in a jar where someone adds a little bit more on top every year, not just to your original amount, but also to what was added before. Over time, that jar fills up faster and faster through compound growth. The key is to start investing after you've handled the first 3 layers. Now let me show you how these layers work together. Imagine 2 people. Person A has $10,000 in emergency savings and $8,000 in credit card debt. Person B has no debt, knows exactly where every dollar goes, makes $400 extra per month from side work, and invests $300 monthly. Who sleeps better at night? Person B has no debt eating away at their wealth. They know their money situation inside and out. They have income coming from multiple sources, and their investments grow every month, building real long-term security. This multi-layered approach creates real strength that grows over time, instead of sitting there doing nothing. These 4 layers work together to build genuine security, rather than the false comfort of passive saving. But here's the thing about emergency funds that most people miss. They're designed to fail because they don't address the root causes of financial stress. Emergency funds aren't evil. They're just incomplete, like having a smoke detector but no fire extinguisher. You get the warning, but you can't actually put out the fire. Start by writing all your debts and their interest rates on a single sheet. Create a simple worksheet to visually compare what you're paying versus what you're earning. Then ask yourself, would paying these off protect you more than keeping cash in a 1% savings account? The math will probably surprise you. Here's what most people miss. The people who weather financial storms aren't the ones with the biggest emergency funds. They're the ones who eliminated the storms from forming in the first place. True peace of mind comes from eliminating threats, not just stockpiling cash. Remember, your safety net is just a lie if you don't plug the holes. If you found this eye-opening, hit subscribe for more real-world finance strategies. Drop a comment with your biggest debt or saving challenge. I'd love to help you figure out your next step.